Welcome to the DX Today podcast, where you get facts and no hype.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Mike. It's Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. And wow, do we have a packed show for you today.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. The biggest story this week is NVIDIA's GTC conference happening right now in San Jose. CEO Jensen Huang delivered his keynote yesterday, and it was a big one.
2 hours long, classic Jensen. He came out in the leather jacket, of course, but here's the headline number that got everyone's attention. NVIDIA now projects AI chip demand will hit $1 trillion by 2027. That's double their previous estimate of $500 billion.
That's a staggering number, and he backed it up with real product announcements. NVIDIA unveiled the Groq 3 chip, which is focused on AI inference, meaning running AI models rather than training them. There's a $20 billion licensing deal with Groq behind that.
He also introduced DLSS 5 for gaming, their next-generation AI upscaling tech. And here's something wild. A Vera Rubin Space Module, basically an AI chip designed for orbital data centers and autonomous space operations.
AI chips in space. That's not hype, that's actually happening. He also unveiled OpenClaw and talked a lot about OpenClaw, which he's positioning as the operating system for AI agents. He compared it to what Linux did for the internet era.
And one of the most interesting moments was when he talked about the token economy. He said engineers will soon be asking how many tokens come with my job. He floated giving NVIDIA engineers a token budget worth half their annual salary on top of base pay.
That's a completely new way to think about compensation. Tokens as a recruiting tool. We'll see if other companies follow that lead.
All right, let's talk about the model wars, because the pace of AI model releases right now is unprecedented.
It really is. Just in the first quarter of 2026, we've seen over 255 model releases across major labs. February alone brought 12 significant updates. Google shipped Gemini 3.1 Pro, which is dominating 13 of 16 major benchmarks. Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.6 and Claude Sonnet 4.6. OpenAI launched GPT 5.3 Codex.
And DeepSeek V4 dropped in early March with 1 trillion parameters, 32 billion active, and a million-plus token context window. It's open weight too, which means developers can actually run it themselves.
The performance improvements are genuinely impressive. Gemini 3.1 Pro scored 77% on Arc AGI-2, which is a pure logic test that models can't just memorize. That's more than double what Gemini 3 Pro scored. GPT-5 reduced hallucinations by 45% compared to GPT-4o.
And then there's the fragmentation. OpenAI now serves 85 active models through their API. XI has 33, Anthropic has 31. There are hundreds of models available across different providers. It's creating real opportunities for companies to optimize costs by routing different queries to different models.
Now let's shift to funding, because the money flowing into AI right now is extraordinary.
Understatement of the day. This week alone, the two biggest global rounds were Nscale in the UK raising $2 billion out of $14.6 billion valuation for AI infrastructure, and Advanced Machine Intelligence in Paris, co-founded by Yann LeCun, the former Meta AI chief, raising $1.03 billion. That's the largest seed round ever for a European startup. LeCun's company is building what they call world models, AI that learns from and interacts with the physical world. The New York Times reported they're valued at $3.5 billion already. In the US, we saw Nextop AI and Mind Robotics each raise $500 million. Rhoda AI came out of stealth with $450 million for video-trained robotics, and Replit hit a $9 billion valuation with a $400 million Series D. Oh, and OpenAI raised $110 billion this quarter, valuing them at $730 billion pre-money.
$110 billion. That's the number that puts everything in perspective.
All right, let's talk robotics, because it's not just software getting smarter.
The International Federation of Robotics reported that the global market for industrial robot installations hit an all-time high of $16.7 billion. Their top trend for 2026 is AI and autonomy in robotics. Robots are getting more versatile as IT meets operational technology, and humanoids are finally having to prove real-world reliability. Mind Robotics, which spun out of Rivian, is building AI-enabled industrial robotics. Rhoda AI is training robots using hundreds of millions of videos. And Sunday, the household robot company raised $165 million for their robot called Mimo. We're seeing robotics companies attract the same kind of funding that pure software AI companies were getting 2 years ago.
Now let's get into the regulatory landscape because there is a lot happening on that front. The state level in the US is where most of the action is. Washington State passed 2 major AI bills right before their legislature adjourned. HB 1170 covers AI disclosure requirements, and HB 2225 addresses chatbot safety for kids, including self-harm protocols. Virginia passed 3 AI bills heading to the governor's desk covering AI fraud and abuse, independent verification organizations for AI systems, and social media protections for minors. Florida's Governor DeSantis pushed through an AI Bill of Rights approved by the Senate on March 4th. Kentucky passed HB 227 unanimously, 96-0, requiring social media companies to verify user age and ban addictive algorithms for minors. And there's a fascinating bill in Kentucky, HB 469, that would declare AI systems non-sentient and prohibit them from obtaining legal personhood. That one is going to age interestingly. On the federal level, there was actually a push to override state AI regulation through a Senate GOP bill, but it was pulled after complaints from states. So the patchwork approach continues for now. And internationally, the International AI Safety Report for 2026 was published in February, assessing what general-purpose AI systems can do, what risks they pose, and how those risks can be managed. It's a substantive document worth reading. Let's talk ethics, because there are some important developments there too.
Forbes outlined 8 major AI ethics trends for 2026. The copyright dilemma is still unresolved. When AI trains on copyrighted human work, should creators get paid? Courts have given mixed rulings. Revenue-sharing models and opt-out systems are being proposed, but there's no clear standard yet. Accountability for AI mistakes is another big one. When an AI system causes harm, who's responsible? The developer, the data provider, or the organization using the tool? There's still no definitive answer. And the black box problem persists, where AI makes decisions but nobody can fully explain how.
Axios just published a piece yesterday, March 17th, with a new tool that ranks jobs by their odds of AI disruption. The top 5 at-risk jobs are computer programmers at 45%, customer service reps at 42%, data entry clerks at 40%, medical records technicians at 40%, and marketing research analysts at 39%.
A broader study from Cognizant found that 93% of jobs in the US can be done at least partially by AI, and companies could shift more than $4.5 trillion in labor costs to AI. The World Economic Forum estimates AI will replace about 85 million jobs by the end of 2026. But here's the nuance. Goldman Sachs says while AI could replace the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs globally, it could also increase global GDP by 7% and create entirely new job categories. McKinsey projects an additional $13 trillion in global economic activity by 2030 from AI adoption. The key message is that people who develop AI skills will be the ones who benefit.
Which brings us to our educational resources segment. First up, Google's Grow with Google AI program offers free courses on AI fundamentals and hands-on skills. If you enroll, you get 90 days of Google AI Pro included. It's practical, job-focused, and a great starting point.
Anthropic launched structured learning for their Claude models and tools through anthropic.skilljar.com. That includes Claude Code and Claude Cowork. It's free and reportedly very practical rather than just theoretical.
Learning Tree has a full lineup of AI courses for 2026, covering everything from AI for business leaders to AI cybersecurity and Microsoft Copilot integration courses. These are more enterprise-focused and come with certifications.
And for the more ambitious learners, the Simply Learn Professional Certificate in AI and Machine Learning, which is in collaboration with IBM, got strong recommendations on Reddit this month. Whatever path you choose, the message is clear. Building AI skills is no longer optional, it's essential.
That's a wrap on today's top stories across the AI ecosystem. From NVIDIA's trillion-dollar vision at GTC to the model wars heating up, massive funding rounds, robotics going mainstream, a patchwork of new regulations, ongoing ethics debates, career shifts accelerating, and plenty of resources to skill up.